In this video, we're going to look at some slightly more advanced layout and design options in tables. So you can see in this assignment, this table looks a little bit different. We've used the merge cells to merge row 1 and row 2. And then we've also merged cells here, this program cell, these are merged, but here we're actually merging across 3 rows rather than going across columns. So there's some slightly different layout options or layout things going on here. So what I've done is I've already merged the first 2 rows because we know how to do that. For the next part of it, I'm looking at that word programs, and that is these 3 cells. Let me go back to that table so you can see. So these 3 cells for rows 3, 4, and 5 all make up that word program. So I'm going to highlight those 3 and merge those. And then for student enrollment, that's the rest of row 3. So I can highlight the rest of row 3 and merge that. And then in row 4, we have 2 larger cells here, one for last year, one for this year. So I need to merge those 2 and these 2. And that takes care of merging the cells. Now the new material, one is, well, first of all, let me increase the width of column 1. If you look at column 1, it's going to be a little bit larger than the other columns because I'm going to have some larger text in there. So I'm going to just click and drag that over, make it a little bit wider. There we go. Now the rest of the columns, these 4 columns, I want all of this to be equal width. So the way we can do that is we just highlight these columns, and then we come up to the Layout tab. Now I am on an odd kind of screen size here for the sake of this video. If you're viewing this full screen, you will actually see the words distribute rows and distribute columns right here. So we're up here in the cell size section of the Layout tab. And what I'm looking for is this one, distribute columns. So with those columns selected, I'm going to click distribute columns. And what that does is distributes those equally. So each column now has equal width. So that is one new thing. And then the other new idea here is you'll notice all the cells that are aligned to the left, they're actually indented a little bit. They're not centered, they are aligned left, but they have a left margin here pushing them over. So the way we do that, I'm going to highlight the cells that should have that, which I don't have all the rows here, but basically it's going to be everything other than the titles. So it would be the word program as well as, let's see, starting down here. So I'm going to highlight those and then hold my control key and click up here in program so it selects it. Alright, so what I want to do, I can see right here it says cell margins. So it would seem logical that this is how I would do my cell margins. However, if you choose to do it that way, what's actually going to happen is you're going to change the cell margins of the entire table, not just the cells that we highlighted. So in order to change the margins of the cells that we've highlighted, and actually I need to get all of those as well. There we go. So not just the programs. So what I want to do is go to over here. I'm still in the Layout tab. I'm going to go to Properties instead of the Cell Margins options. So I'm going to go to Properties, and then by default it's probably going to come up to Table Property first, and then you'll have to click on Cell Properties. And then I'm going to come down here and click on Options. And here's what I'm looking for. This option that says same as whole table, I need to uncheck that. Now I can adjust the margins for just those cells. And I'm going to increase the left margin for those to 0.2 of an inch. There we go, and hit OK. And OK. And now you can see it's just these cells, not the centered cells, but just the cells that I had highlighted that were aligned to the left. Each of those you can see are indented by 0.2 of an inch. So that is the new material for this video.